Welcome to my series prediction between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. Now I'm shooting this like just an hour before game one starts, so this probably won't come out until after the game is ended. My apologies. Whatever, life goes on. In any case, very quickly, please hit that like and subscribe button for me if you happen to be new to the channel. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw some stats, steak and potato ones, at your face. And then we're going to talk about them, obviously. And then I'll give you my X factor, who I think has the edge, blah, blah, blah. And I'll pick someone, one of these two lovely clubs here, and we'll go from there. Starting with, in the Atlantic, Toronto finished third, Boston second. In the NHL, Toronto finished 10th, Boston 7th. Goals for, Toronto was second overall in the league, Boston 14th. Quite a slide for them this season. Goals against, Toronto 21st. They slid in this category quite a bit. Boston 5th. That has a good deal to do with their goalies because I think their defense got weaker. On special teams, the power play, Toronto finished 7th overall. Boston 14th. I think after the All-Star break, their power play just didn't jive. The PK, Toronto finished 23rd. It got better after the All-Star break. And then Yankrock and Marner went down, two of their best penalty killers. And then, the rest. Boston finished 7th. Penalty minutes, Toronto finished 9th in the league. Boston 15th. Face-off win percentage, Toronto finished 4th with just over 53%. Boston 21st with just under 50. Hits, Toronto finished 2nd overall in the league. I think behind only Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And Boston finished 3rd. Blocks, Toronto 11th, Boston 15th. Players with double-digit goals. The Leafs finished with 9 of them. Leading the way there, of course, was Austin Matthews with 69. William Nylander next with 40. Boston finished with 10 players in that category. By the way, I think, is it Domi? He finished with 9. David Pastrnak, of course, finished with 47. And Brad Marchand with 29. Now, the D, how many goals in total came from the defense? Toronto got 24 from that group, and McCabe led the way with 8. With Boston, it was 31, and McAvoy led the way with the Bruins with 12. Let's talk about the goalies. For Toronto, first off, we got Samsonov, who finished with the 890. We all knew his story. He was terrible in the first part of the season, went on a little temporary Rubidas Island break, and then came back and was fantastic. Up until the last couple of weeks or so, he started to look shaky. So we'll see how that continues. Wall was sort of the opposite. He started off really well until he got an ankle injury, I want to say sometime around the new year, and was away for quite some time, came back and played, I want to say 7 or so games. He had maybe 2 good ones in that bunch. So we know he's the goalie of the future and that he should be better at some point. I don't know if that's going to happen in the playoffs. We'll see. Obviously, Samsonov is starting. For the Bruins, Swayman finished with a .916 save percentage in 44 games. Allmark a .915 in 40. Are they going to rotate them? If they both put up decent numbers, I got a feeling that could be the way they go there. I don't think even beat reporters know what's going to happen with that. Of course, last year, Allmark played almost every game except for game 7 when Swayman finally came in. So I definitely think it's going to be different this year in that sense for the Bruins. Injuries. William Nylander has somehow landed on this list. I don't know why, from what. He played the last game of the season. I want to say maybe he played all 82. And then there's McMahon, who is a loss too, especially as a big body who has a decent shot, who skates pretty decently. I want to say I hope he's back by at least game 3. For the Bruins, it's Forbort, Poitras, and Lucic. Lucic's just a strange one. Maybe I'm just missing out on the news on this one because he left the team for personal reasons a while ago. We found out it was because of domestic abuse. But I know he got acquitted of that. So I don't know what his current status is right now, or if he'll ever play at all for the Bruins again. Maybe a Bruins fan can update me on that. Let's talk about the X factors now for each club, which is always hard for me to pick. I usually throw in a few things in here. For the Leafs, you could say it's the core 4. Every year, are they going to wilt? Have they learned enough? Have they suffered enough over the years to finally get to the middle of the ice in front of the goalie to those high danger places and take a beating. Get tougher, man. Get some thicker skin. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. You could say it's the new guys. Dewar, Reeves, Burt, Domi, Edmondson, Lyubushkin. Will some of these guys inspire some fight back? I feel Domi, it could be a poster boy for this. You can single out him specifically, playing on that first line with Matthews, with the hands that he's had and the chemistry he's found with him lately. So there's that. And then, of course, there's the Leaf goalies. But that's more of a question mark than an X factor. The Bruins, the center depth, more of a question mark again than anything else. But, Zaka and Coyle are big, heavy guys who can lean on you. The goalies, I think, could be easily an X factor here because they're both good. You can also say McAvoy, right? Because their defense isn't as deep as it was last year. He's probably going to play more important minutes on every facet of the game, really, special teams, etc. The edge in each position, who do I give it to? In goal, obviously that's a Boston. Obviously that's a Boston. Okay, my English has gone out the window. Defense, this is hard. I want to say it's kind of even. Maybe you give the slight edge to Boston, but maybe not. Maybe it's the Leafs. Let's just call it a draw. The forwards, definitely for Toronto, I give them the edge there. Special teams, I'm going to give this to Boston, even though their power play has been faltering in the last half of the season-ish. But, Leafs are the inspiration for any bad power play on the opposing team. They just... they are, especially the Bruins. So I get a feeling that it'll be like the fountain of youth for their power play. You watch. That's what's gonna happen. My prediction last year, I actually got my prediction correct. If I remember correctly, against Tampa, I said the Leafs would win in 6. I said the Leafs would win that series, but there was a caveat. And I said that they had to do it in 6. Otherwise, it went to 7. Tampa was going to take it. This year, how do I feel about this? Who do I think is going to win this? Yeah, on paper, Toronto should still win this, even though Boston has, the much better goaltending. Both teams finished the season poorly. A lot of people, of course, accusing Boston of throwing the last couple of games just to face the Leafs. And the Leafs were so caught up in Matthews' 70-goal chase that they really didn't play hockey. They just played feed the superstar. So do those games mean anything or not? I don't know. I mean, look at Florida. They fought tooth and nail just to get into the playoffs last year. So they were in that mindset before any other club, and they caught a lot of teams by surprise. You can also say that of, when the Kings won their cups. In Washington, even, it's when people least expected them. Other clubs started taking Washington for granted, like they would fold as they usually did, and then they just didn't, and then they won. So I think that I still think Boston's going to win this one. Who am I kidding? I think they're going to take it in 7. I just have a feeling the Leafs will wilt again. I hope not. I really hope I'm wrong, and that Domi is the key to unlocking some nastiness in some of their bigger players, and some of these fringe guys are enough to help pump their confidence. So but Boston in 7. If you happen to jump to the end of this video just to see who I picked, who do I think is going to win this one? Toronto in 5. Their goaltending is just way too superior, and their center depth, even their fourth line, is putting in goals on a regular basis. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel. If you want to support me, you can do that through my crowdfunding page called Buy Me a Coffee. You'll find a link down below or just on my YouTube profile page. Thank you for being so patient with me and the channel and my lack of content creation in the past year or two. But I do really appreciate you. And hey, enjoy the playoffs. I hope to see you soon.